Hi guys, I'm David Charles Abell, music director of the Philly Pops. You guys know anything about the musical West Side Story? It's not one of those happy-clappy, silly musicals. It's a story about tough kids in street gangs. A boy from one gang and a girl from another gang fall in love. Sound familiar? Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare, right? But this is set on the streets of New York City and with really edgy, jazzy music. Maybe you know some of the songs, America, Maria, Somewhere. That was written by Leonard Bernstein, or Lenny as everyone who knew him called him. He was a Philadelphia legend. He studied at the Curtis Institute of Music. And guess what? I knew him. At age 13, I was asked to be in a show that he wrote called Mass. And I was in the boys' choir that sang in that show. I met him, I sang on the recording, I was in the show. It got me hooked. It got me wanting to be a professional musician. Lenny was not only a great composer, but also a great conductor, a pianist, and he had written this piece that brought together elements of classical music, rock, jazz, soul, and Broadway. I was hooked. Lenny was one of the most generous people that you could ever meet. I mean, I was just a kid who had dreams of becoming a conductor, but he was happy to spend time with me, telling me about the art of conducting, the craft of composing, and introducing me to great classical pieces as well as the pop songs that he knew and loved. He was even responsible for me making my professional conducting debut. He needed someone to conduct Mass in Germany for its European premiere. I was 23 years old and he trusted me. He sent me over to Germany to conduct this piece. It was my first debut appearance as a conductor. What a way to get started on my life's path. He had a great sense of humor. He was very theatrical. He had a mastery of many different styles, and he also had a big heart. I remember one thing that he said to me so well: "Nothing is real for me unless I share it." The last time I saw him, he was in Key West. He was having a little bit of a vacation. It was probably about a year before he died. And I was conducting Les Miserables in Miami. I drove down on my day off. It was several hours drive all the way down the Keys. And I met him in the early evening. He did not have his usual entourage around him, because usually he was surrounded by people, a valet, a musical assistant, family, friends. He was a big party guy, let me tell you. But he was all alone this night. And he said to me, "I've just written a new piece. Do you want to hear it?" And I said, "Sure I do." And he played it for me. It was a little piano piece. And he said, "What do you think? Do you like it?" And I thought, wait a minute, this is America's greatest composer asking me what I think of his music? I said, "I love it, Lenny. It's fantastic." We spent the whole evening having dinner and drinking and just talking and talking and talking. And about 1 a.m, I said, "Lenny, I've got to go. I've got to drive back to Miami and do my job conducting Les Miserables." And he said, "Oh, do you really have to go?" I said, "Yeah, I really do." And so he said, "Okay." So he walked me out to the gate of this house that he was renting in Key West. It was a beautiful, warm evening. And I remember walking away and waving at him. And there he was, just looking up at the stars.